What do you have to say about people saying that you are involved in this, about your co-defendants, and they named you?
Tell them I said get off my dick and worry about their own business.
The woman he was talking about was a woman who stepped outside simply to protect what was hers, her car, her home, her peace. But she would never make it back inside. Surveillance footage would capture her being shot multiple times. Word spread quickly, and whispers in Beaumont carried the weight of disbelief. How could anyone target Ebony Gilbert, a radiant woman known for her kindness, faith, and devotion to family? Yet the footage left no doubt. 3 young men had turned an ordinary night into a nightmare.
You come into her property and you break into her car, then you shoot and kill her, then leave her for dead. That's really cruel.
What would make strangers target her, and why? Before we get into the crime itself, you need to understand who Ebony really was, because the internet has a way of flattening victims into headlines or statistics. Ebony was neither. She was a woman with dreams, ambitions, and a life she worked hard to build, and that's what makes her loss so devastating. Ebony Knackle Gilbert was more than just a name in the news. She was a daughter, a niece, a cousin, a friend, and a church-going woman. Ebony was born in 1985. She lived in Beaumont, Texas, surrounded by a community that respected her for her faith, kindness, and dedication to others. Ebony's family was large and deeply connected. She was a devoted daughter and cherished cousin, and she had grown up helping raise her nephew after losing her sister in 2008. That loss shaped her deeply, but it also strengthened her resolve to be present for her family.
She was a very good person. She made Christmas for my kids last year, and you know, anything was out with. My family is the straw behind it. Like I said, she was a good person. She took real good care of all of us. She helped us out as much as possible, and like I said, she will be missed.
Killing.
My wife told me that she heard gunshots and she got the kids and put them on the floor and didn't realize that it was right next door.
From a young age, she dedicated herself to her Christian faith, attending services regularly and serving in her church community whenever she could. She was known for her generosity and her gentle, caring spirit, often volunteering for church events, helping with youth programs, and offering encouragement to anyone who needed it. Professionally, Ebony was just as remarkable. She worked in several refineries across the Golden Triangle area of Texas, earning promotions to positions of responsibility, including superintendent, labor foreman, and safety leader. Her colleagues admired her work ethic, her ability to lead with fairness, and her commitment to safety standards that protected workers. She was respected not only for her technical skills, but also for her ability to mentor younger employees, guiding them with patience and wisdom.
It's sad because we're going to miss her and we love her so greatly, but we know to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Such a sweet, loving person. And I tell them this, even those guys that did the crimes and all that, Ebony will give you anything.
But Ebony had more to give the world. She was determined to better herself and enrolled at Houston Community College, studying to earn her counseling degree. Believing education was a lifelong pursuit and wanted to use her knowledge to help others heal and grow. Her dream was to combine her professional experience with her faith and compassion, becoming a counselor who could guide people through life's challenges. Above all, her life seemed full. She had ambitions, she had love, and she had a strong sense of purpose. Friends and family describe her as someone who could brighten up a room with her smile, who would go out of her way to help others, and whose life was a source of inspiration. Although Ebony had no children of her own, but that didn't stop her from playing a significant role in the lives of her family's younger members and offering guidance to her loved ones. She was the kind of person who remembered birthdays, who showed up when others were in need, and who never hesitated to put others before herself.
Because her smile always lit up a room no matter what. Lost her sister back in 2008, so pretty much she took a part in help raising her nephew, so that was all the kids she needed, really. And
Friends described her as radiant, selfless, and generous. She often helped neighbors, supported friends, and dedicated herself to service in her church. One neighbor recalled how kind she was to his children. That single memory captures the essence of Ebony, a woman who gave freely, who carried the burdens of others as if they were their own. And yet, beneath that glow lies the haunting question: how could anyone want to hurt her? How could a woman so devoted to her family, her church, and her community become the target of violence? The answer would come in the most shocking way. On the night of September 26, 2024, Ebony noticed something unusual near her car. Unbeknownst to her, 3 young men were allegedly in the process of burglarizing her vehicle. Ebony was confronted by the suspects, and in a cold and senseless act, one of them pulled out a firearm and shot her. The attack was sudden, brutal, and left no chance for her to defend herself. What makes this story so heartbreaking is that Ebony didn't leave her home for any reckless reason. She stepped outside simply to protect what was hers: her car, her home, her peace. But she would never make it back inside. Surveillance footage would capture her being shot multiple times.
Within 24 hours, less than 24 hours, we had at least the first suspect identified, then in custody, and from there the dominoes just started falling.
Sergeant, Maya Taylor from KSDM, what do you have to say in response to the homicide of Ebony Gilbert? What do you have to say in response to the homicide of Ebony Gilbert? Did you do it? Why did you do this? Is there anything that you want to say to the family? Anything that you have in response to what the co-defendants are saying? They're saying that you're involved with the murder and homicide of Ebony Gilbert. Is there anything that you have to say?
Neighbors want to know why you did this. Kayla showed Tay 12 News. They said you took the life. Why didn't you just walk away?
I wasn't there.
You weren't there?
And so if you weren't there, then where were you?
I was at home.
You said where?
Where were
I was
you?
at home.
You were at home. You're saying that you had an involvement with the homicide, and you're saying that you were at home, and you didn't do this, but you're being charged with it. So you have nothing to say to the family.
This dirty, fool. That's all I gotta say.
One more question. Kayla showed Tay 12 News. You know, a church-going woman lost her life, 39 years old. What do you have to say? I spoke with the family. They're devastated. Someone died.
I don't know her. But I say R.I.P. Like, rest in peace, lady.
Then what do you have to say about people saying that you are involved in this, about your co-defendants, and they named you?
Tell them I said get out my and worry about their own business. You know what I'm saying?
You have
Y'all
any
trying
message to your family?
Y'all be quick to bash somebody for no reason.
Any message to your family? Kayla showed Tay 12 News.
I love y'all.
After being shot, Ebony desperately attempts to retreat back into her home, her body weakened by the injuries she sustained. She collapsed on her front porch, the place that had always been her sanctuary, now turned into the scene of tragedy. The following day, when Ebony's mother tried to reach her daughter, she received no answer. Concern quickly turned into dread. In her search for answers, Elder Minnie went to check on her daughter. What she found was every mother's nightmare: Ebony's lifeless body lying on the porch. It was a moment no parent should ever have to endure, a sight that would haunt her forever. The crime not only robbed a family of their beloved daughter, but it also shook an entire community. Neighbors who had once relied on Ebony's kindness now stood in disbelief, struggling to comprehend how such cruelty could strike someone so full of light. The moment Ebony's body was discovered, Beaumont police moved swiftly. Investigators collected shell casings, interviewed neighbors, and began piecing together the timeline of events. But they would find something horrifying in a reviewed Ring doorbell footage. The Ring doorbell camera captured the chilling moments outside Ebony's home. Just after 8 p.m., 3 men were seen allegedly breaking into Ebony's car outside her home on Bennett Street in Beaumont. When Ebony stepped outside to confront them, they allegedly shot her at close range. The footage was stark, showing the suspects moving quickly, their actions deliberate, and the sudden eruption of violence that ended her life. Neighbors described hearing the gunfire and feeling an immediate sense of fear and disbelief. One witness said, "The community, already familiar with the sound of gunfire, now faced the devastating reality that one of their own had been taken in such a brutal way."
This is your one chance to say something to her family. Your family brought you in. What would you like to say to Ebony's family?
Rest in peace, Miss Ebony. Sorry for your loss.
Why did you do it? You and other people are accused. Can you give us a reason? This is your one chance to explain to people so they can understand.
I would, but there ain't no point.
Do you want to say anything about the other people involved? What about her mother? Her mother who had to find the body. Anything you'd like to say to her mother?
Sorry for your loss.
Anything else you want to say?
Sorry for your loss.
Okay. Thank you for your monster. You're not a monster?
Didn't do it.
You didn't do it?
No, sir.
But you're charged with murder.
Ebony had tried to crawl back inside her house, but the injuries were too severe. She collapsed on her front porch, and that was where she would take her last breath. The murder was cold, calculated, and unnecessary. She had only acted to protect her home, a simple instinct that cost her everything. Detectives moved quickly, canvassing the neighborhood for witnesses. Family members and neighbors provided statements describing Ebony as a loving, selfless woman who cared deeply for her community. Each testimony reinforced the gravity of the crime and the urgency to bring the perpetrators to justice. The investigation became not just about solving a case, but about honoring the life of a woman who had given so much to others. Within hours, tips from the public, combined with careful analysis of the surveillance footage, pointed police toward a suspect. 21-year-old Decory Shillow, identified as one of the shooters, became the focus of the investigation. The footage, combined with tips from the public, allowed police to identify the suspects quickly. Within 24 hours, authorities had located the first suspect after his own mother turned him to the police, setting off a domino effect that would lead to all 3 arrests. During his walk into police custody, Decory Shillow gave a brief but unsettling interview to KFTM News. Reporters pressed him with direct questions and asking him to say something to Ebony's family. But Decory Shillow's response was chillingly detached. When asked why he did it or what led to the car burglary, he offered no explanation. Instead, he shrugged off the questions, saying, "It was just a car burglary."
Implicating him.
Javonta, Scott Lawrence, KFDM, do you have anything to say about the murder charge against you for the killing of Ebony Coleman? Yesterday, Decory apologized to the family, said he hopes Ebony rests in peace. Do you have anything to say similar to that?
Yeah, I think it's wrong that they trying to accuse me based off what another thing.
Who else did this? Were you involved in it? Were other people
I ain't got
involved?
nothing to do with this, man.
Were you there at the location, at the house?
Yes, sir. Nah.
Okay. Anything else to say to the family? Anything else to say? Your last chance, Javonta. Anything to say to Ebony or her mom?
No, I got something to say to my family, though.
What do you want to say?
For putting them through this. I'm done talking.
The interview revealed a man unwilling or unable to take responsibility. Even when asked if he wanted to say something to Ebony's mother, the woman who had to find her daughter's lifeless body, Shillow repeated the same hollow phrase, "I don't have anything to say." For the community, these words landed like a second wound. Neighbors and family members who had already been devastated by Ebony's death now had to hear the suspect speak with indifference, as if the gravity of the crime meant nothing. His refusal to explain, his lack of remorse, and his casual tone only deepened the outrage. Local residents described the interview as cold and heartless. To them, it was proof of the cruelty behind the act, not just the violence itself, but the absence of humanity afterward. Vigils and prayer gatherings took on new meaning in the days that followed, as people sought to reclaim Ebony's dignity in the face of the suspect's dismissive words. He was arrested first, and during questioning, DeCorey admitted to his role and named 2 accomplices, 21-year-old Javonta Turner and 20-year-old Tydrick Davis. Authorities acted quickly to apprehend the remaining suspects. Javonta Turner, who had attempted to evade capture by seeking refuge at his brother's residence, 40-year-old Ricky Turner, he's charged with hindering apprehension and felon in possession of police body armor. Detectives also found that DeCorey had even handed off the clothes he wore during the killing to Javonta, which were later recovered during a search warrant. Javonta, when arrested, denied involvement and used profanity toward DeCorey for implicating him. Tydrick Davis, the youngest of the 3, was located soon after. His attempt to remain hidden was short-lived, as community members who he had confided in that he was present at the scene when the murder took place provided crucial information that guided police directly to him. The apprehension of Tydrick Davis closed the circle, ensuring that all 3 men accused of participating in the senseless killing were behind bars.
Such a sweet, loving person. And I tell him this, even those guys that did the crimes and all that, Ebony will give you anything.
The speed of the investigation was remarkable. Within days of the crime, the combined efforts of police, surveillance technology, and community cooperation had dismantled the suspect's attempt to escape accountability. For Ebony's grieving family, the arrests brought a measure of relief, though the pain of her loss remained immeasurable. Neighbors expressed both sorrow and gratitude, acknowledging the tragedy while praising the swift justice. The community, shaken by the violence, found solace in knowing that the suspects would face the consequences of their actions. The arrests marked the beginning of a long legal process, but they also symbolized the resilience of a neighborhood unwilling to let Ebony's death go unanswered. The arrests brought a measure of relief to the shaken community, but they also underscored the senselessness of the crime. 3 young men, barely into adulthood, had destroyed a life and devastated a family over something as trivial as a car burglary. A Jefferson County grand jury indicted 21-year-old DeCorey Shillow, 21-year-old Javonta Turner, and 20-year-old Tydrick Davis for capital murder. Their bonds were set between $750,000 and $800,000, and they were held in jail awaiting trial. Ebony's death left a void in the lives of everyone who knew her. Throughout the investigation, Ebony's family struggled to come to terms with her death. This tragedy felt all too familiar for Elder Minnie Schenkel Gilbert. She remembered the pain of 2008 when she had gone to check on her other daughter in Orange County, only to be met with a heartbreaking scene of her daughter's body. She had died from a sudden heart attack, a loss that shattered the family and left scars that never fully healed. Now, Elder Minnie found herself confronting unimaginable pain for a second time, this time with the horrifying death of another daughter. The grief was compounded by the cruel reality that lightning had struck twice, leaving her to endure the unbearable weight of losing not 1, but 2 children. Friends and relatives rallied around her, organizing vigils and prayer gatherings, honoring Ebony's memory and her contributions to the community. Candles were lit, hymns were sung, and heartfelt words were shared, each moment a testament to the love Ebony had given and the impact she had made. Her radiant smile, generosity, and selfless nature were repeatedly highlighted, reminding everyone why she mattered so much. Neighbors spoke of her kindness, recalling the countless times she had helped others without hesitation. Church members remembered her faith and devotion, describing her as a woman who lived by example and inspired others to do the same. Family members reflected on her role as a daughter, cousin, and aunt, emphasizing how deeply she had woven herself into the fabric of their lives. The vigils became more than gatherings of grief. They were celebrations of a life lived with purpose, a way to keep her spirit alive even in the face of tragedy. Ebony's story resonated far beyond her immediate circle, touching strangers who heard of her generosity and faith. Her death was not just a loss to her family, but to an entire community that had been uplifted by her presence. The impact on the Beaumont community was profound. Ebony had been an active member of her church, New Day Deliverance Holiness Church, and a trusted figure in the community. Her colleagues, friends, and neighbors remembered her for her warmth, kindness, and generosity. Many shared stories of how Ebony went out of her way to help others, from giving advice and support to participating in church programs and volunteering for community projects. The church rallied around the Gilbert family, offering comfort and support during the first days after the murder. Bishop Eldred Charlo Sr., a close family friend, spoke to the press about Ebony's life and the senselessness of her death, calling it a cruel act and a devastating loss for the community. The case quickly drew media attention. Local news outlets such as KFDM News and KFDM covered the investigation extensively, highlighting Ebony's life, the circumstances of the crime, and the swift arrests of the suspects. Surveillance footage and interviews with family members painted a clear picture of Ebony as a strong, devoted woman whose life was abruptly and tragically cut short. Community members used social media to share memories of Ebony, expressing grief and calling for justice. The story became a cautionary tale, emphasizing the dangers of crime in otherwise quiet neighborhoods and the importance of vigilance. In the weeks following the arrest, the Beaumont community came together to support Ebony's family. Vigils, memorials, and church services honored her memory, reminding everyone of the positive impact she had during her life. Friends and neighbors shared stories of her kindness, her faith, and her selflessness, ensuring that her legacy would live on even after her passing. The tragedy also served as a warning to others in the community about safety, awareness, and the strength found in communal support. Ebony Gilbert's family established scholarships and charitable initiatives in her name, focusing on education and community service. These efforts ensured that her influence would continue, shaping lives long after her passing. Her story became a testament to resilience, love, and the importance of honoring those who are taken too soon. Though the legal process is still ongoing, the emotional healing for Ebony's loved ones and the Beaumont community would continue for years. Her radiant personality, dedication to her faith, and commitment to her family left an indelible mark. Ebony's story is a reminder of both the senselessness of violent crime and the enduring power of a life well lived, even when tragically cut short. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this story intriguing, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.
It's really scary because, it's like right in our back door. We always hear gunshots and everything, but to know someone got killed over something so senseless, it just breaks my heart.
During his walk into police custody, Shiloh gave a brief, unsettling interview to KFDM News.
Corey Shiloh, Scott Lawrence, KFDM Television. You're charged with the murder of Ebony Gilbert. This is your one chance to say something to her family. Your family brought you in. What would you like to say to Ebony's family?
Rest in peace, Miss Ebony. Sorry for your loss.
Why did you do it? You and other people are accused. Can you give us a reason? This is your one chance to explain to people so they can understand.
I would, but there ain't no point.
But there is. I think her mom would want to know. Why the car was broken into. Is there a reason why you guys were just looking for quick money? People want to know.
I got money in my pocket.
So why was the car burglary taking place?
I don't know.
Did you plan it, or how did you pick the house where she lived?
I don't know.
Do you want to say anything about the other people involved? What about her mother? Her mother, who had to find the body. Anything you'd like to say to her mother?
Sorry for your loss.
Anything else you want to say? Okay. Thank you for your monster. You're not a monster?
Didn't do it.
You didn't do it?
No, sir.
But you're charged with murder.
Implicating him.
Javonta, Scott Lawrence, KFDM, do you have anything to say about the murder charge against you for the killing of Ebony Coleman? Yesterday, DeCorey apologized to the family, said he hopes Ebony rests in peace. Do you have anything to say similar to that?
Yeah, I think it's wrong that they trying to accuse me based off what another thing.
Who else did this? Were you involved in it? Were other
I ain't
people
got
involved?
nothing to do with this, man.
Were you there at the location, at the house?
Sir. No.
Okay. Anything else to say to the family? Anything else to say? Your last chance, Devonta. Anything to say to Ebony or her mom?
No, I got something to say to my
Nothing?
family, though. I
What do you want to
apologize
say?
for putting them through this. I'm done talking.
Patrick, Maya Taylor from KSDM, what do you have to say in response to the homicide of Ebony Gilbert? What do you have to say in response to the homicide of Ebony Gilbert? Did you do it?
Why did you do this?
Is there anything that you want to say to the family? Anything that you have in response to what the co-defendants are saying? They're saying that you're involved with the murder and homicide of Ebony Gilbert. Is there anything that you have to say?
Neighbors want to know why you did this. Kayla showed Tay 12 News. They said you took the life. Why didn't you just walk away?
I wasn't there.
You weren't there?
And so if you weren't there, then where were you?
I was at home.
You said where?
Where were
I was
you?
at home.
You were at home?
And is there any other message? You have a message to your family, the family of Ebony? Are you remorseful? Someone lost their life. A church-going woman.
Your co-defendants are saying that you had an involvement with the homicide, and you're saying that you were at home and you didn't do this, but you're being charged with it. So you have nothing to say to the family?
This dirty, fool. That's all I gotta say.
One more question. Kayla showed Tay 12 News. You know, a church-going woman lost her life, 39 years old. What do you have to say? I spoke with the family. They're devastated. Someone died.
I mean, I don't know her. But I say R.I.P. Like, rest in peace, lady.
Then
all I can say.
what do you have to say about people saying that you are involved in this, about your co-defendants, and they named you?
Tell them I said get out my worry about their own business. You know what I'm saying?
You have
Y'all
any
trying
message to your family?
Y'all be quick to bash somebody for no reason.
Any message to your family? Kayla showed Tay 12 News.
I love y'all.
You come into her property and you break into her car, then you shoot and kill her, then leave her for dead. That's really cruel.
In their search for cold-blooded killers who took the life of a young woman, cherished by her mother, her large family, and a wide circle of friends. The accused gunmen, their chilling images captured on Ring doorbell camera video. The timestamp, Thursday night, about 8 o'clock. The crooks caught burglarizing a car outside a home, then shooting the homeowner when she stepped outside to see what was happening there. The victim, 39-year-old Ebony Gilbert, photos of her shared with KFDM by her family members, still shaken tonight after learning what happened. Remembering Ebony for her beauty and her smile. That's her in the middle of the picture. Everyone describing Ebony as radiant, loving, a woman who would do anything for those close to her. Ebony's mother discovering her body this afternoon. Police and EMS rushing to the 3500 block of Bennett. That's between Bigner and Helbig shortly before 3. Crime scene investigators and detectives trying to uncover the circumstances, gathering all the evidence, including multiple shell casings inside the crime scene tape. A murder mystery until police were able to look at the surveillance camera footage. The images showing 39-year-old Ebony Gilbert interrupting a burglary of her car right there in her own driveway outside her home last night. When she steps outside and confronts the burglars, they shoot her at close range and then they run away. She struggles to crawl back into her home to call for help, but she can't make it and dies. Right now, officers tell KFDM they're following leads, Crime Stoppers tips, trying to identify the suspects and get them off our streets and where they belong, in jail.
Aaron, police were on scene when I left hours later, planning to work 24/7 to find Ebony Gilbert's killers, while her family, friends, and neighbors are sharing their...
She wasn't loud or outspoken or whatever, but you knew her when if we was in a room together, you knew it was her just by the way she graced herself, the way she smiled, the way she talked to people. She was so kind. It was just amazing to watch sometimes.
You come into her property and you break into her car, then you shoot and kill her, then leave her for dead. That's